Alright, Kitava's Thirst Quad Curse CI Occultist Blade Vortex Build Guide. First take, only take. So what's up? This is just a quick run through guide of the which Blade Vortex build I've been playing in Essence Hardcore. It makes use of the new Kitava's Thirst helmet and specifically uses it to curse enemies and set up a lot of defenses to make you an almost unkillable Blade Vortexer. The basic idea is the helmet has 30% chance to cast socketed spells when you use at least 100 mana to use a skill. And the way we accomplish that with Blade Vortex specifically, because a normal 6-link costs 84 mana, we use an Apex Rage to bump it up to 117 plus the 6-link. And now when we cast our Blade Vortex, it has a 30% chance to cast Enfeeble, Vulnerability, Temp Chains, and Vortex around our character. Like so. Comboed with a Dodre's Ring for +1 curse and Chula for the stun immunity, we end up with a whole heck of a lot of defense. +1 curse here as well. +1 curse from Occultist. And basically we just get to take ES gear everywhere else in all the rare slots. But for the passive tree, this is just the CI version for leveling and being able to switch to CI, which you can kind of determine when you want to do that depending on how safe you feel. Early leveling, I recommend going to Templar, getting the area nodes, the life, all this good stuff, and kind of just doing a regular generic life-based Blade Vortex, because that's totally fine to carry you up into Dried Lake and early maps. And then when you start getting to maps, you can grab some of the hybrid ES nodes, switch from pure life to a hybrid type setup, and then ease your way slowly towards eventually and ultimately grabbing CI. So once you're CI, the helmet, since it's casting all our curses for you, you get to use Discipline, whereas most multiple curse-based builds have to blasphemy all of their curses. The only one I'm using on blasphemy is Warlord's Mark for the leech, since we need it consistently. We can't rely on the helmet for the leech, or we'll just randomly run out of mana against bad luck on packs. But yeah, let's take it into a map. We got pretty basic Mesa map, nothing too difficult, but it's a quick good layout to kinda get the gist of what's going on and how these defenses stacking turn you into a basically unkillable monster. So the best way I've found to do things is when you first start getting going, the regular packs, you can't really rely on them being cursed, but you can make up for that by making smart use of your flasks, most importantly the Stibnite flask, which drops the smoke cloud around you, because that can let you get into blues or rare packs or essences, drop a blind cloud, and use that blind cloud to buy you time that you need to get your curses to proc. And then once your curses are procced, you basically, as far as I've been able to tell, it's pretty dang close impossible to die unless you just go head first into something crazy buffed up like 5 essences, ghosted rares, or something like that. But we're not even done with the defenses yet, because we have our good buddy, the Decoy Totem. Probably one of the more underused defensive skills. I know it's used a lot, but it's quite possibly one of, if not the strongest single skill gem defense mechanics in the game. And we kind of use it to synergize with everything else that this build has going to make it so enemies just don't get to attack you. And when enemies don't get to attack you, it turns out they're pretty easy to kill. You'll be able to see it on the boss once I get up to him in a minute here. Basically what's going to happen against the boss most likely is I will jump into him, I will start spamming my blade vortexes and I'll put up a decoy. He's going to get, at the basically same time, taunted, blinded, temps changed, and chilled, and get one, maybe two attacks off the entire fight in very slow motion, and they aren't even going to be targeted at me, they're going to be targeted at my totem. When I first made this build, I kind of was trying to think up stuff that could take out the new endgame encounters, namely the Shaper himself. And I haven't quite made it far enough to test that yet, but it's looking pretty promising if these kind of bosses that you're about to see are any sort of indicator. So let's get right in here. Throw up our taunt, hit all the flasks, get the proc, and he gets one more cast off before he goes down. I know he's not a hard boss, but you get the idea of map bosses in general don't really get to fight back, which is pretty fun. But yeah, I think that's it for the guide. Covered just about everything. One more quick look at the passive tree. It's also going to be posted in the description on the video. Profile will be listed for anybody who wants to see the character's gear and all that good stuff. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and catch y'all around.